If you're a Christian watching this video, are you ready for the next time a Mormon comes to your doorstep and tells you they're a Christian too? Let me tell you a story. A couple months ago, a knock at the door interrupted our family's lazy morning. We were sprawled on the couch, eating breakfast, and watching a show when the sound jolted me. It was early, too early for visitors. I checked the security camera and saw a guy standing there, perched on some Segway-like device. Not again, I muttered, realizing it was that time of year when door-to-door pest control reps start pitching monthly insect repellent plans. I rolled my eyes, shushed my two boys, and ignored the knock, hoping he'd leave so we could get back to our morning. The day went on as usual. Work, juggling the kids, shuttling them to extracurriculars. Around 6 p.m., as I was at my computer and my wife was getting the kids ready for bed, another knock came. I checked the security cameras again. Same guy. Part of me thought, I really don't want to deal with this. I'm not buying anything. Ignoring him a second time felt easier, but guilt crept in. He was just doing his job. So I opened the door. "Good evening, I'm Josh the Bug Guy," he said with enthusiasm. I stifled an internal eye roll and thought, just get through this and tell him no. I responded, "Hey man, what's up?" I let him give his pitch and politely declined, but the conversation didn't end there. We started talking about his work as a salesman, how he was grinding to build his business. He mentioned social media, and I found myself actually enjoying the chat. Then he asked what I do. I mentioned my production company and a Christian podcast I'm working on. That's when things shifted. "Christian podcast," he said, pausing. "Awesome. I'm a Christian too." There was a brief silence, like he wanted to savor the moment. Then he added, "I'm part of the Mormon Church." A dozen thoughts raced through my mind, but I stayed calm and said, "This conversation is going to take a bit more time. Have a seat." And for the next hour and a half, we dove deep. We talked about the Mormon teachings, Jesus as a created being, separate from the Father and Satan's brother, their view on the Trinity and the idea of becoming gods one day, ruling over planets just as they believe God the Father did. Josh was kind, sharp, and ready with arguments from the Bible and the Book of Mormon. But as we went back and forth, he couldn't reconcile the contradictions between the two. We were honest with each other. If he was right and the Book of Mormon was true, I would end up in hell. If I was right, he was. I told him I cared about him, even though we just met, and I warned him about the cult of the Mormon Church and its false gospel, explaining that through repentance and faith in the true Jesus, he could find forgiveness and restoration. He smiled and said, "Oh man, I gotta disagree with you there." We both laughed, easing the tension. We wrapped up with a handshake. I gave him my number in case he had more questions, and I said I'd pray for him as he headed off to knock on more doors. So why share this? It's a reminder that you never know when you'll be called to share your faith. I was caught off guard, more focused on avoiding a sales pitch than being ready to answer the call. I need to stay more in tune with those moments, to approach them with joy instead of reluctance. Do better than I did. Be ready to give an account for the hope within you. You never know who will knock next and the state of their soul. If content like this encourages you and you would like to see more of it, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more.